and welcome back again to the 80s Movie Den. So for this episode, we're going to cover two more awesome albums from the 1980s. We're going to be moving away from the lighter, more poppy sounding albums, and we're going to be getting into more rock, hard rock, and even heavy metal. This band here, so both albums that I'm going to be discussing are from the same band. I grew up listening to this band as a kid in the 80s, watching their videos, and they're an absolutely incredible band. The original lineup was extremely talented. They did go through some lineup changes over the years that didn't really affect the band at all, but this original lineup for me, there's an age-old debate about which lineup was better, and some of you can leave that in the comments. You can leave your opinions in the comments. That would be great. So the band that I'm going to be featuring is Van Halen. So just quickly, they formed in 1973 in Pasadena, California. The original lineup consisted of Eddie Van Halen on lead guitar, his brother Alex on drums, Michael Anthony bass, and David Lee Roth. Eddie and Alex were born in Holland, I believe, and they immigrated to the United States. Classically trained musicians. Anybody who knows even this much about music and rock music, especially, knows who Eddie Van Halen is. An absolutely incredibly talented virtuoso guitarist. He really, in some ways, revolutionized the instrument. His solo Eruption is very well known, and it's actually on their debut album, which we'll be talking about. So this is their debut album. It's just self-titled, Van Halen. Some of the notable songs on this album are "You Really Got Me," which is a remake, "Jamie's Crying," "Running with the Devil," "Ain't Talking About Love," and of course "Eruption." Awesome album, awesome lineup. Very cool cover of all four band members. Van Halen 1 was released in 1978, February the 10th, which is 13 days before I was born. Sold 10 million copies in the United States, reached diamond status. It peaked at number 19 on the Billboard 200. Again, Eddie Van Halen and Alex were they spearheaded this project, and they put together a great ensemble. Michael Anthony, awesome bass player and vocalist. David Lee Roth, it's the age-old debate, David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar. David Lee Roth for me was a great musician, don't get me wrong, but I found that he was more of an entertainer. He was very athletic, very agile, very mobile on stage, a great showman. I found that Sammy Hagar was a little bit more reserved, but more refined as a musician. He also had an excellent voice. So when Sammy Hagar took over, it didn't really affect the integrity of the band very much. But David Lee Roth was awesome, a great lead vocalist. But awesome album. And then this is my favorite Van Halen album, and I'm sure most of you can guess what it is. It may be your favorite as well, who knows, but 1984. Absolutely awesome album. Now this album, let's see, 1984 was their sixth studio album. It was released on January the 9th, 1984. It reached number 2 on the Billboard 200, and it stayed at number 2 for 5 weeks. This by far was their most popular album in the 1980s. Singles Jump, Panama, Hot for Teacher, all awesome videos. I remember the when the PMRC, the Parents Music Resource Center, spearheaded by Tipper Gore, which was Al Gore's wife back in the early 80s, they were out to censor or at least put warning labels on albums, which a lot of artists at the time were dead set against. As artists, they wanted to be able to share their craft and not be restricted. They didn't want their creativity stifled, so they fought against it. Unfortunately, they lost. But I remember the album. I remember the song and the video "Hot for Teacher." I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it made it to the list of the Filthy 15. It was one of the videos that was looked upon as, scandalous and something that should be removed. And if you watch that video now, and you watch almost any other video that's being released by female artists today, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. This video compared to the videos, some of the stuff that is released today is, it's funny that they would have considered that video, Hot for Teacher, to be filthy. By today's standards, it's rated G, but that's how it goes. But yeah, Hot for Teacher, Jump, Panama, over 10 million copies also in the US, reached diamond status. Awesome album cover, very well-known album cover, and just a great lineup of songs. This was the last album that David Lee Roth collaborated on. He left the band in '85 to pursue his own interests, and creative differences with the band caused him to leave. So after this album, David Lee Roth was gone. In comes Sammy Hagar. I feel like the momentum wasn't disruptive at all. The band still continued to put out albums and sell out tours and do very well. There were some other lineup changes. Sammy Hagar did leave at one point, and then Gary Cherone stepped in. And Gary Cherone was the lead singer for the band Extreme, which is another pretty cool band. But yeah, these two albums, definite staples in my 80s album collection. Awesome albums, awesome band. It depends who you talk to, but a lot of people love this band. Some people say they're overrated. Some say they're underrated. So I guess it depends who you talk to. I think they're just, they're one of the coolest rock bands to come out of the US of all time, for sure. Extremely talented. So that'll do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think of the band. Let me know what you think of the album, what your favorite Van Halen album is. I will be covering, of course, some more 80s albums, and I will be doing some more heavy albums, some rock, heavy metal. I've got some really cool albums in my collection that I'd like to share with you. So thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much. I want to thank some of my new subscribers. I've been getting more subscribers lately, and I really appreciate the support. You will see content like this. 80s popular culture. It is a movie-based channel, but I will be covering other areas as well. This is the 80s Movie Den, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.